whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. Huh, so many people on meth. Ow!
Well, just a little note. If you're ever at Mexicanos, the Antojitos Mexicanos, Mexican restaurant on Davie Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale, don't mess with that jukebox. They apparently take it very seriously, what you play on that thing.
Really?
Yeah, a big old fight broke out about 1:30 a.m. on Monday.
Oh, 1:30 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing good's going to happen after midnight in there.
That's prime jukebox fighting hour.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently the song selection caused a little bit of a disturbance.
One of them played a song and the Rocola, and the machine Rocola, and the other guy kind of was pissed off and told the guy and say, hey, you're not Mexican, you're not real Mexican because you're playing that music, pulled his weapon and started shooting, to the other guy.
Whoa.
Over a song?
Over a song, yes. Called him out for not being a real Mexicano for playing the music that he did.
What did he play?
That we don't know.
But what if he just loves the song? He's not allowed to play it?
Well, I think it was him trying to pass himself off as a Mexicano, and he's like, you're not Mexican. And that's where the disturbance started. The guns come out, the pistolas.
Seems appropriate. A little
Las Armas.
cultural appropriation deserves bullets.
Yeah.
I guess I'm confused, maybe?
Yeah. And then they got 46-year-old Cesar Esquivel Estrada with first-degree murder. He killed the guy.
Who did he kill? What's that guy's name?
I don't know, Virginia. They didn't release the name. Yeah.
Drink every time Virginia asks Kevin a question he has no idea about.
Yeah.
I'd be drunk by 7
Kevin, tell me more about the dead
I always
guy.
go through these stories show. I'm like, well, they're not going to ask me that. I'm like, we don't. Yeah. That's not even pertinent to the story.
What
I
neighbor-
do want to know. I do want to know if the dead guy had a Mexican name.
Oh, okay. I'm sure it was Hispanic.
I'm
he-
just very curious if the guy was right in his motive of shooting him, saying you're not Mexican, and then he shot him. And what if he really was Mexican?
His name was John Smith.
John.
From the sub shop?
Yep. Did you see the viral video of the woman who took the man's iPhone charger on the plane and he was shaming her?
I did. I saw him shaming her, but I didn't see her take it.
Okay.
She says she didn't take it.
Yeah, it's turned into a thing.
I think they're making it a thing. I'm not that interested, but it's a thing.
What's the details?
Okay, well, the details are the first video came out. You know how people they will go on ahead and they'll start shaming somebody. And his video was showing her like she'd come up, taking his charger when they had everybody get off the plane. She came back on, just snagged his charger and then put it in her bag. And he's like, hey, you stole my charger. And so he's making a video so he can shame her. And here he is on that, shaming her about stealing his charger.
Excuse me, did you take my charger? Why would you take my charger?
Because we got off the flight.
Yeah, but my charger, that's my charger. Why would you take it? Well, why would you take it though, without permission?
Because nobody was on the flight.
Yeah, but that's my charger.
And you're getting it back.
Okay, can I have it back?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, but don't steal things. You can't take things without
When
asking.
nobody is on the flight.
Oh, you just take things? Like we're not coming back? Why don't you take people's luggage then?
So she's kind of like defending herself and he's going all in.
She thought somebody left the charger behind. She claims it was on the floor.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, look, somebody just left it. I was just like happy to find a charger. There was nobody left on the plane.
I just found this pile of money. Where? In the register.
I like how he said, what, do you just take people's luggage?
Yeah. So, yeah, she had to defend herself. And here's the odd thing. This was from a flight in early September of last year. So it's a year later this comes out, it goes viral. And so a year later, she's like, I'm getting blasted. I got to defend myself. Here's how she explained it.
I am getting bombarded with harassment, flooded with death threats. So for context, this charger was found.
I mean, that's crazy, though. I mean, seriously, death threats. I mean, even if she did jack his charger, we're going to, like, kill her over it?
Flooded with death threats.
I'm not sure I'm buying that.
That's insane.
Yeah, I don't think she's telling the truth about that.
You don't think she... Okay, so...
People are heckling her, sure.
And I've had several death threats, seriously, online. I'm still standing.
Even though you're dressed as the undead, you're actually living.
Yeah, people use that a lot. I got death threats, and then you realize all it is them just shaming them.
Context, this charger was found on the ground of an emptying flight where we were told to remove all possessions. It was on the ground. I kind of like embraced the people behind me, kind of showing that I had it. No stealthy behavior here. And then when I got on, I immediately told him that I would give him back his charger, but to just give me a second because several hours had passed. And we'd been delayed for over 3 hours. Watching the video, like I could have acted more gracefully, but I was really stressed out boarding, concerned about my cat. Clearly out of breath, exhausted after over 8 hours at the airport, only to be recorded and yelled at. And if I learned anything through this, I think it's that maybe
Turns
a little
out
bit more patience and kindness.
She don't even have a
The
cat.
one thing I've learned through this whole thing is that I am a liar.
And I try to take things when I think no one's looking. And
I don't take responsibility for. Okay, first of all, produce said death threats. I'd like to see them. Let's see these death threats.
let's see this cat.
Yeah, if that even exists, Kevin.
Do you like the concept of taking out your phone and then blasting somebody and having it go viral? Is that an effective weapon that we have in today's society, or is it unfair because somebody gets death threats?
I love the videos. I watch them. I think it calls out bad behavior. And if the person's behaving badly, they deserve to be called out.
That's it. That's a blanket statement. It also produces bad behavior. Because
Right.
I've seen people pull out a phone when they're so in the wrong, and they're so they're on their holy hill, and they're completely wrong, and they're filming you thinking they're going to go viral. They upload it, then everyone turns on them.
Which is perfect. When they turn on them, I love it.
But for me personally, I can't stand it. I think it's another way of just making us separate from one another. It just makes us turn into
It's a legit weapon
It
today.
is, it
It
is.
is a legit weapon.
and everyone's got one.
Yeah. Well, this guy was a little creepy and harassing this McDonald's employee, but it's not his fault. Blame ChatGPT. It's a 27-year-old dude, and he's a management student in the UK, and he found this girl at McDonald's that he fancied. So he kept showing up there at the McDonald's where she worked, thought that she might be interested. They exchange social media handles. He hits her up later. She ignores his messages and then eventually blocks him. I don't know what happened there, but that's how it went down.
He probably got creepy.
He got creepy.
Then he shows up at the McDonald's. He orders a milkshake.
Like
He's-
a creepy guy would.
He's looking at her, and she's like, all right, he's harassing me. And so now it is a thing. And so she also claims that he once followed her in his car from the McDonald's. He's denying that.
I believe her.
I believe her.
I believe her.
But this thing has now gone to court. And he was asked if he thought that he was crossing a line. He said no. He didn't think that he'd done anything to apologize for. But the prosecutor pointed out that, well, you did apologize. In one of his social media messages before she blocked him, he said, I understand that my messages may make you feel uncomfortable, and said, but can we still meet up? And his defense is that wasn't him. It was ChatGPT. He said he was desperate to go on a date with her and wasn't sure what to do, so he asked ChatGPT what he should do. And ChatGPT said he should message her again with that exact message.
So this is going to become a real thing now. Why did you murder him?
ChatGPT told me to. But apparently it's not a good defense because he still was found guilty of stalking, and he's going to be sentenced next month. Just to let you know.
Yeah, it sounds like he was stalking. He knew he was stalking. He's throwing a Hail Mary trying to get out of it, but we see him.
By the way, you started that story, we knew he was getting creepy. That's why she blocked him.
Yeah.
If somebody blocks you, you should not show up at their work and make it more uncomfortable for both of you.
Well, as soon as someone doesn't want me around, I don't care if it's a friend, a business partner, whatever. I don't want to be around. So if you're telling somebody you're making me uncomfortable and they're still not getting that,
Yeah.
that's rough, man.
Well, we've got a new version of the Fire Festival, but this one is themed around the TV show Bridgerton. You know, with love and the Middle Ages or whatever the heck time period this thing is.
Oh, yeah, with like the big dresses and the powdered wigs and all that.
But the
Yeah.
modern music to really confuse you.
Yeah, so all of these romantic hopefuls went to what they thought was going to be this extravagant ball, And apparently the Bridgerton Ball in Detroit was not very nice. Apparently at one point there's a video of people just sitting on the floor eating Kit Kats. And they're watching apparently a person who is on a pole dancing to not Bridgerton music while they're bored and confused.
Standing in the rain, dressed to the nines.
Honestly, I just want my money back.
Superfans say they didn't get what they thought they were paying for at the Detroit Bridgerton Ball.
The way that it was described is that this was going to be a Bridgerton evening. We were going to have classical music, good dinner, and there was going to be a play, and they were going to pick Diamond of the Season. They were going to give away all of these prizes, and we went in, and it's completely empty in there.
Expecting to be transported into the regal world reminiscent of the hit Netflix show, fans say they were instead in a room with little decor, served undercooked food, and given an exotic dancer as their entertainment.
I mean, the entertainment's kind of an upgrade. If you get a stripper instead of an orchestra, I think it's an upgrade.
Honestly, there's some people I know that would not mind that evening.
That doesn't sound that bad.
You're right.
Except for the undercooked food.
Well, and these suckers paid $300 each to attend.
It reminds me of that Willy Wonka promotion.
Right.
Where
Yes.
A lot of these are happening.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
shady.
Yep. A lot of these things are happening.
This is how we do. It's the KVJ show.